Hey folks, Colin here from Sumthins Recording, and today I want to show you one trick to make your vocals more aggressive. We're going to be looking at making your vocals a little bit more aggressive today, but before we dive in, if you are ready to take your vocal mixes to the next level and really start perfecting your EQ strategy, then I have just the thing for you. It is my ultimate guide to vocal EQ, and it's just a simple PDF that will walk you through how to EQ your vocals step by step to help you get polished and professional sounding vocal mixes without any more of the hassle. It is a completely free guide, and you can download it below using the link in the video description. Oh, excuse me. Let's jump in here now and take a look at this vocal mix so far. So I want to play you this mix so far so you can hear how the vocal's sounding in the mix currently, and then we're going to explore a way to make it a little bit more aggressive here. It's a hard-hitting song. It's pretty big on this chorus section, and I want the vocal to have a little bit of extra oomph, a little bit of extra kick to it, and feel a little bit more aggressive here on this chorus section. So here's what our song's currently sounded like for this big chorus section.
I've been waiting for the day to break, but I can't find it anymore. I've been struggling just to keep it at bay, but the longer I wait, the more I'll say. It's hard enough just to let it go, but to hold it back is something I can't crack. I can only keep it down so long.
So it's a big chorus section. The vocal's pretty high up there in the male vocal range at least. And I want to give it a little bit of extra aggression because it's a meaner sounding song. It's not a heavy metal song, but they're not nice lyrics, right? They're darker lyrics. So we want to give that sort of tone to the vocal as well. And that can be a little bit tricky with a higher vocal part. Sometimes it feels a little bit too light. So I want to give it some more aggression here. So what I'm going to try is I'm going to create another bus here. And we're going to call it dist, or vocal dist. We're going to create a vocal distortion track. So Vox dist here, we'll color it white, send it into our mix bus here. We're going to solo safe it. If you don't know how to solo safe in Studio One, it's just hold shift and click, and it'll turn your solo sign green there. That means whatever's sending to this bus, when you solo it, it'll solo up this bus as well. So from our chorus vocal here, in the send section, I'm going to add a send to the Vox dist, and we'll send full signal. That way we can push harder into the distortion if we need to. And if you notice now, if I solo the vocal, it solos all our sends here as well. That's all solo safe is doing for us there. So we're going to solo up this Vox dist track. It's just going to be our vocal here. I'm going to get rid of the reverb for the moment. So this is just our raw vocal, just sending into the vocal dist bus. Let's take a listen here, and I'm going to pull in a distortion plugin here to mess with on the vocal.
I've been waiting for the day to break, but I can't find it anymore. I've been struggling just to keep it at bay, but the longer I wait, the more I'll say. It's hard enough just to let it go, but to hold it back is something I can't crack. I can only keep it down for so long. It's about time you arrive. I've been waiting for the day to break, but I can't find it anymore. I've been struggling just to keep it at bay, but the longer I wait, the more I'll say. It's hard enough just to let it go, but to hold it back is something I can't crack. I can only...
So that's starting to feel really, really aggressive there for me. Problem is, it's starting to feel a little bit too harsh, a little bit too crinkly up on the top end. Let's throw it in here in the mix and see where we're getting from it at the moment. Probably going to need to throw an EQ on it here, though.
I've been waiting for the day to break, but I can't find it anymore. I've been struggling just to keep it at bay, but the longer I wait, the more I'll say. It's hard enough
right there is where I'm starting to hear that little bit of edge from the distortion. That sounds nice. It's helping our vocal feel like it's pushing a little bit harder and like it has a little bit more edge to it. Listen one more time here, with and without it.
I've been waiting for the day to break, but I can't find it anymore. I've been struggling just to keep it at bay, but the longer I wait, the more I'll say. It's hard enough just to let it go, but to hold it back is something I can't crack.
That's exactly what we're needing with our vocal. I feel like it's a little bit crunchy though. So I'm going to solo up this here, and I'm going to throw an EQ on it afterwards. We're going to do a little bit more work.
I've been waiting for the day to break, but I can't find it anymore. I've been struggling just to keep it at bay, but the longer I wait, the more I'll say. It's hard enough just to let it go, but to hold it back is something I can't crack. I can only keep it down for so long. I've been waiting for the day to break.
That feels better to me. So all we did here is literally just 2 filters. Threw in a high pass filter. We're rolling up to about 300 hertz here, rolling off some of that low end energy that we're getting exaggerated by the distortion. So bringing up some of that low level, low end stuff, some of that sub stuff. We don't need any of that, and we don't need to add any of that to our vocal. So rolling all of that off, cleaning up our low end there. And then I pulled the low pass filter down to about 3K here. So we're rolling off that extra crispy stuff that we're getting by pushing into the distortion like that. It's kind of making the top end a little bit too harsh and a little bit too pokey. That stuff will kind of fatigue the ears pretty quickly. I don't want to add too much of that to the vocal. I want the high end to stay pretty, especially the higher vocal like this. So I want to preserve the low end. I want to preserve the top end. Let's add some more aggression here in the mid-range to help our vocal cut a little bit better and feel a little bit more aggressive overall. So we'll pull this back down now and mix it back in with our vocal.
I've been waiting for the day to break, but I can't find it anymore. I've been struggling just to keep it at bay, but the longer I wait, the more I'll say. It's hard enough just to let it go, but to hold it back is something I can't crack. I can only keep it down for so long. It's about time you arrived. I've been waiting for the day to break.
Oh, excuse me there. Listen one more time. I'm going to hit play without it, and then I'm going to kick it back in. Pay attention to the mid-range area and kind of the low-mid area. Listen to how we get this extra bump there. Fills out the vocal a little bit, and we get some of that nice grit and that nice distortion coming in on the high-mid area that makes our vocal feel a little bit more aggressive in the mix. So without it, and then with it.
I've been waiting for the day to break, but I can't find it anymore. I've been struggling just to keep it at bay, but the longer I wait, the more I'll say. It's hard enough just to let it go, but to hold it back is something I can't crack. I can only keep it down for so long.
Just that little bit of extra edge from this distortion bus here. All we're doing, sending from our lead vocal here to our vocal dist bus, putting a little bit of distortion on, so we're crushing our vocal pretty much here with the red light distortion. It's pretty nasty sounding. And then afterwards, putting on a little bit of EQ to roll off that extra crispiness on the top end and get rid of that sub area that's coming up from being pushed into our distortion. So we're focusing in on the mid-range here. That's where we're getting that extra energy and that little bit of extra aggression. And then just tucking it under our vocal to help it feel a little bit bigger, a little bit more aggressive. I hope that was helpful for you. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, if you are ready to take your vocal mixes to the next level and really start dialing in your EQ strategy, then I have just the tool for you, and it is completely free. It is my ultimate guide to vocal EQ, and you can download it below to start creating more professional vocal mixes in less time. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.